James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, two players who are among the best players in the entire NBA. Two guys that have their chance this season to cement their spot in history. You have James Harden, who has the Houston Rockets playing phenomenal basketball. Not only him, but Russell Westbrook also. Harden is one of the league's most prolific scorers to ever play, and he's also an exceptional passer. Scratch that, I'd go on record and say Harden is flat out elite at passing the basketball. Harden has become such a good scorer that it has overshadowed his passing ability. The same way that some people are so good at dunking that it actually takes away from their overall skill in the public eye. The irony. This is all incredibly relevant this video, and you guys will find out why in just a second. On the other side, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, the late lottery pick who wasn't supposed to be here. He wasn't supposed to be this good. Nobody envisioned Giannis becoming the dominant force he's became today. One of the most dominant players to play in modern NBA history. Teams flat out can't stop him, so they resort to nonsense. The same way teams resort to nonsense trying to stop James Harden. But why can't these two seem to coexist and get along? Well, I'll answer that again in just a second. I decided to dive deeper this video and truly find out what's going on between Giannis and James Harden. But before we go any further, guys, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another D-Coop video. And that's facts. I'm trying to get to 200,000 subscribers so I can go full time and bring you guys daily content. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. So you guys know this is the part of the video where I answer questions that you guys commented on recent videos. So on my most recent one, we have who's the most overrated player in NBA history. I'm not doing that one. But honestly, I'm interested in knowing who you guys think is the most overrated player in NBA history. Perhaps you'll give me some ideas so I can answer that in my next video. Somebody actually responded to that question with Steve Nash, and it got 20 upvotes. Wow. All right, so let's try this one. What can Clint Capella do for the Hawks? I actually love Clint Capella on the Hawks because he's such a good role man. Gives the Hawks a defensive presence and a lob threat down low. Absolutely love the addition. Playing with an elite passer like Trae Young and a floor spacer like John Collins who can also score the basketball, really good fit. I think he'll be really good for the Atlanta Hawks. But perhaps I may have liked him more in Minnesota. I really hope they go out and pair defensive big with Cat, who is currently one of the worst defenders in the entire NBA. If Cat at center doesn't work, play big. You might like it. Maybe more wins. Who knows? With that being said, be sure to follow my IG, handle G like Coop. You guys will not want to miss another post. Now, a lot of people seem to think that the James Harden beef started with the pass to the head in 2019. When Giannis threw the ball about as hard as I've ever seen anybody throw a ball in an NBA game at James Harden's head. Honestly, I don't know how this kind of got swept under the rug. Even though Giannis apologized, the pass to the head still didn't make any sense. Don't get me wrong, Giannis apologized, but why are you, let's just outline some facts. James Harden was wide open. If Giannis thought that was his teammate, why is he throwing the ball that fast to somebody that's not that far away and is standing wide open? And of course, I'm saying wide open in the sense that Giannis may have thought James Harden was his teammate. Again, let's just go with that. Giannis thinks Harden is his teammate. But check this out. The second thing is the accuracy to hit that player in the head. I just think that there's a lot of moving parts right there that just don't make enough sense for it to be an accident, especially when I add on everything that I'm going to add on as this video goes on. You guys are going to see it's kind of absurd. Now, you guys may have thought that this video was going to be in chronological order, and it is outside of this. In 2014, Giannis and James Harden had an incident on the court, and you guys see it right before your eyes. This looks like the start of the Giannis and James Harden beef. Now, I could be completely in the wrong here, and maybe I'm not as observant of a person as I think I am, but I watch a lot of the Rockets games, right? And I don't see James Harden get that animated, especially back in like the 2014 days. So seeing Giannis and this James Harden little squabble, push, whatever, it's kind of an eye opener, but of course it's their first time, no big deal. There's nothing there really, unless there was. And at this point, I guess you would be hard pressed to say there isn't. But my point is, things like this happen with every NBA player. Emotions run high, and you can show them for the most part, unless you're Russell Westbrook. I'm joking, but a lot of times it just really seems like he has a target on his back. So this is where everything really kicks off. Giannis beats out Harden for the MVP award. At this point, Harden already had an MVP. Giannis was just simply amazing that season, but you can also argue that Harden was even more amazing, and I honestly felt that should have been a Harden MVP season, but Giannis was so good that it's impossible to be mad at any choice. Harden addressed the media, suggesting that the media narrative led to the Giannis win. And pretty much Harden said, I think once the media, they create a narrative about somebody from the beginning of the year, I think that they just take that narrative and run with it the entire year. True. I don't want to get into details, but all I can do is control what I can do. And I went out there and did what I was supposed to do at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Also true by James Harden. Harden had a 30-point streak, 8 50-point games, 2 60-point games. That's a lot. That's actually what Harden said too. And he said all the talk was about Giannis. There's no way. You can't pout or be mad. The kid had an unbelievable season. So did his team. But the things I was putting up, they were legendary. You're going to look back 10, 15 years from now and be like, is that really true? Did that really happen? While I understand completely where Harden is coming from, I also understand where Giannis is coming from too, and he took some slight offense. But the thing is that it seems like all respect at this point. Giannis addressed the media. He said that's their opinion. They're gonna have James back. I'm never gonna say I'm better than James, but the trophy's in my house. It's crazy because that's a reply, but that's respect. Like, that's still respect at that point. So we go to the All-Star draft, and pretty much you guys know how the All-Star draft, how that whole thing went down. Giannis chooses Kemba Walker over Harden, but then Giannis said, I need somebody that's going to pass the ball. We go to the All-Star game, and then things just got really ugly. I thought this was pretty uncharacteristic of Giannis. He kind of just lets an elbow fly at James Harden, and it looks like a cheap shot, but I guess you can never know the true intentions, though again, it did look pretty bad. Let me know down in the comments below, should we give Giannis the benefit of the doubt, or is this just an all-time dirty shot? Now, we keep going. All-Star break was honestly pretty ugly. After the All-Star game, Giannis does not stop. He says offensively, we were just trying to find whoever Harden was guarding, which is not the best narrative because Harden's not a bad defender in the least. You guys see the stats on the screen, but of course, stats aren't everything. Harden has been a really good post defender his time with the Houston Rockets, and you can say he's an elite post defender, and for the way the Rockets play defense and basketball, really important to what they do. It's also pretty funny that Harden played good defense that game. We jump to what happened today. James Harden, Rachel Nichols interview. Rachel Nichols brings up the comment that Giannis made about James Harden and his lack of passing. Harden said, I didn't even see it. I don't pay attention to anything like that. I just know that none of them can mess with me. Harden also referenced his assists, saying that he's pretty sure he averages more assists than Kemba, which he's right. But that might not be the best point because Giannis said he wanted somebody that would pass more, not get more assists. And Kemba Walker might pass the ball more than James Harden. But in large part, I believe James Harden playing that way has been what's been best for the Houston Rockets. If you look at the Rockets rosters over the past couple of years, they haven't exactly been the greatest. I think they've been overachieving a lot with James Harden. And of course, they did have that one roster with Lou Will, Pat Bev, and Montrez. That was an unbelievable team. I wanted it to stay together longer, but they went all in with CP3 and it almost worked out, but it didn't. Again, I break down the Rockets' offense in my most recent video. I advise you guys to check it out. Anyways, I guess you can say James Harden finally grew tired of Giannis Antetokounmpo's antics.
You know, but I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball.
That's tough, but what's even tougher is going to be the Rockets and Bucks' next matchup. Could it be a possible finals preview? The Rockets are loaded with small ball making waves, and the Bucks, well, they're downright historic. Did Harden go too far? Are his comments too harsh? Or did Giannis go too far throughout this whole altercation? I don't know about you guys, but I like a good rivalry. And this seems like it's just heating up. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. It's my Rockets small ball video, including MVP Westbrook and Harden. Be sure to subscribe. Notice I'm D Coop and I'm out.